Welcome to Legacy Blueprints, where we help you build a strong financial foundation for generations to come. So perhaps you could explain the importance of being educated in this space.
Education in the financial space is not necessarily the conventional college class education. It doesn't have to go that deep. You don't need to understand the soul and the workings of the policies or the structures of the investment that you're choosing. What you need to understand is how that gets you to your outcome. And so being educated empowers you to make decisions that will get you to your goal. So if a licensed financial professional sits down with you, what they can then do is educate you first, then assess your goals, and instead of telling you, well, maybe you will get to your goals, maybe not, they can show you, hey, here's an outcome that's guaranteed to be created if you follow these procedures and steps. That's the power of planning. If you don't do this, and you ask the average American, what is your retirement plan? They say they want to be on a boat in the Bahamas. Then you ask them, well, how are you planning on accomplishing that goal? They say, well, I have an Acorns app and I round up my spare change and I have $85 in there over 3 years. So you're not getting a boat. You're not even retiring at that. You need to be realistic, planned, and empowered. And the earlier you get that education, the better of a start you have to accomplishing those goals and dreams. At least you have a map at that point of how to get there rather than confusion. You don't have to go to TikTok or Google to try to figure out this complex space and understand things that are being spewed at you in high volume that might not make sense because they're going in too much depth. In financial education, the idea is understand taxes, compounding, interest, and how it works in your favor. You really need to just understand these concepts and how to utilize particular financial structures to avoid taxes. Now, when I say avoid taxes, tax avoidance is legal. Tax evasion is not. Do not evade your taxes. Avoid your tax. Ironically enough, the textbook on taxes, it's like 1,000 pages long. The first 100 pages are why you should pay taxes. The next 700, how to avoid them. So if you could learn how to do that legally with structures in place already created for you, why wouldn't you? And just learn that they exist. Learn the different types. You don't have to learn like detailed aspects of everything. Like how does it work? How does the company manage to create this outcome? Just understand that this does this, has this function and this feature and gets you to this point. So it does not require math.
But that's what we focus on as well in our free workshops. We hold online and in person in our office here. We focus on just how to build a solid financial foundation. We touch on various concepts, proper protection, debt management, establishing a risk fund, investing. Even some of our workshops are on Social Security and college planning, but just the overall holistic package. You will know, like, okay, you can be an actuary by the end of this workshop and know all the different details and how to actually got, like you said, the returns and stuff like that. But just the actual overall principles, key principles, basic principles on building a financial foundation at the end of the day.
Basic, but not basic.
That's true.
Basic because they are simple.
Yeah.
But not basic because they're not traditionally and conventionally.
That's actually going to be the question I wanted to ask is, why do you think so many people are uneducated in this space in the first place? We know that the information is there. There's plenty of books, things you can read online. There's people like us who are here to help. However, there's still a gap. Why do you think that is?
My opinion on it is the sheer volume of books out there, of information out there that goes into, again, too much depth for the average consumer. Now, I'm a nerd when it comes to finance. It's my background in education. Same, learn, that's what I studied. I can read these books. I read Ray Dalio's books, which are great. I read Schwab books on the market wizards and whatnot. This is all great, fascinating stuff to me. I read, I believe his name is Thomas Piketty on macroeconomics and microeconomics. Wonderful books. However, if I give that to somebody that does not like finance or mathematics, that is like the most boring thing to them to read. And they open the page and like, yeah, this is not for me. And you don't have to go that deep. And that's what most of the material out there is. You need it condensed into a simplified aspect, and you need to understand that You do not need to be a math wizard, nor have a background in algebra or anything to understand these concepts in the way these guys are putting them forward.
But isn't it super expensive though to work with a professional to help you get that basic information? Like, I'm trying to feed my kids. That's some bills. I'm gotta pay my bills. I can't afford to work with a professional.
Well, it depends where you go. If you walk into Charles Schwab, JP Morgan, or one of those big companies, it could cost you a penny, and there could be a requirement of assets before you can talk to them, but not in the space you guys are playing. Because correct me if I'm wrong, how much do you guys charge for sitting down with a family?
$0 currently.
So you can get educated for free.
Yeah.
Right? See, the power of education is that if you want it, you can get it in this country.
Yeah.
We have changed. People think education's got to be expensive. Education that comes from a college is expensive because you get a piece of paper that says, I did it.
Yeah.
In this scenario, nobody's going to give you a certificate at the end.
Well, we do have the workshops, but yeah.
You have workshops.
Yeah.
But you're not getting a certificate for these workshops.
Yeah.
So you don't have anything to hang up on your wall. So, but the education's there. The concepts you learned are here, and that's the most valuable. So I think personally that's better than a college degree where you walk through a class, sat through it, crammed, and forgot everything at the end of the year.
So that's something that is very important for people to know. You don't need a college degree to be in this space. It doesn't cost you to have an appointment or just sit down with a professional and at least discuss what some of your future plans are. So it's important that we have these conversations on a broader level. But unfortunately, a lot of people get in their own way, whether it be arrogance, whether it be laziness, whether it be just fear. Those are some of the challenges that they actually have to overcome themselves. But perhaps you can kind of talk a little bit how you appeal to those people who are dealing with such challenges. What are some things that you found successful?
I think the easiest way to get these folks involved is to tell them, look, no pressure, come check it out. If you don't learn something and you don't feel good, nobody's going to force you to stay. But I promise you, when you sit down and be like, that makes sense. Why haven't I done that? Why haven't I looked into that? Why haven't I prepared for that? This environment, if you come in and you say you know absolutely nothing, nobody's going to shame you for it. They'll start from the base. You say you have some knowledge, but you want to iron out a few kinks, they will help you do that. If you say you're an expert, but you want to learn something more, you will find something. I attend these workshops regularly because there's always something new I might pick up on that I didn't know before, especially in the fact that my background is conventional finance. That's not a focus on personal finance. That focus is how are these assets actually structured? How are they created and curated to achieve these outcomes? So I understand the inner workings of it, but the concepts of how to apply it are not as pervasive.
Indeed. And in fact, that's actually one key quality that I found to be most appealing, and actually is a good indicator that we're going to have a successful meeting, especially with a lot of the clients that I've worked with already. One key or common denominator is that aspect of humility. Knowing that, hey, there is more that I do need to know. There are areas that need to be addressed. The willingness to first admit that and then take the action to actually address that is something that I find to be very important. So for anyone who's watching, really ask yourself, what is stopping you from getting the proper education and getting the proper guidance? Is it you? Something to think about. Now, we're going to be wrapping up pretty soon. So perhaps we can kind of talk about someone who may be watching this, who may not only want help for themselves, they may be interested in helping others once they become equipped. What are some things that you would want to let them know or tell them? What is some advice that you would give to someone who's aspiring to have a career in the financial services industry?
First and foremost, ask. These folks want to help you join this industry because this industry has a massive shortage of supply. There's a lot of demand, not a lot of supply. There aren't a lot of licensed financial professionals. There's a huge shortage. A lot of them are retiring over the next 10 years. Second of all, you need to be somewhat humble, and you need to be coachable, and you need to be willing to be trained and to learn. If you think you know everything, I promise you don't, because there is no human that knows everything. So if you think you know everything, you're going to come into this and you're going to end up not learning anything because your own ego is going to block it out. But if you are open to learning, you're open to talking to people, and your goal and motivation is to help people, this industry is for you. You can come into it, you can chat with these folks, and you will see that they are all made out from the same cloth, which is wanting to help people first. Once you are in this industry for 5-10 years, and people start having those results, those outcomes come to light, you truly start seeing how big of an impact you are having on their life, their future, and their children. I've seen financial licensed professionals in this industry cry from joy at seeing that a kid got the education that their parents wanted them to get without struggle. There's a lady I know, not a far office from here, who has 4 kids. They're all in college, and she has taken 0 debt out because she planned properly with a licensed financial professional.
Lovely to hear. I'm glad that we got the opportunity to sit down with you, someone who's been, experienced in this space and has been helping families for years. And I look forward to, continuing to work with you, not only in regards to educating, but also providing more services to the people and the public. But any closing remarks that you want to make?
Don't be afraid. Finance does not mean math. Finance can mean planning. Now, be afraid if you're trying to join the side that actually needs you to do quant finance. Then you need to know math.
Yeah, absolutely. And just for individuals who are looking, because we're always constantly looking for talent, individuals who are looking to work with us or even be our clients, what was something you will recommend as someone who's not working for us, we're not paying you to be here, things like that. What would you recommend for someone who wants to be with our platform, with our office, and just work in our space in that capacity?
Know that you have a tremendous opportunity in front of you if you just choose to take it. And this business is solely based on what you want to accomplish. If you see it, you imagine, and you plan for it, you can do it. This is an unlimited potential business. Know that you can make your life a completely different life by simply coming into this platform. And I advise you, don't go out and try to search for information like all these details, because there's so much stuff online and doesn't necessarily always make sense. It is best if you just walk into the office, it costs you nothing, make an appointment with them and ask them, hey, I want to do this. This is one of the few industries, which I, by the way, love, where if you ask how to be one, they will tell you how to be one. I advise everybody out there, go to a gas station, go to a grocery store, go to a real estate business and ask them, hey, how is business? And they'll tell you, good. How can I join your business? Oh, you don't want to join this business. Doesn't work. Terrible. No, because they don't want competition. Whereas here you're all in unison trying to achieve the same goal. You know that by helping somebody join this industry, not only are you helping them, but you're also helping their families. And by helping those families that they know, the impact they can have, you can change lives and better this country for everyone. Wouldn't it be great if everybody was wealthy and financially educated? I think so.
Yeah, indeed. Well, like I said, pleasure having you. I really appreciate the insight you're able to provide, not only to us, but also just the audience watching.
And thank you guys for having me. It's been an honor to be here, honor to join you guys. You have 2 young entrepreneurs who are changing the game, trying to make sure that they approach it from the right perspective, on the right side of history, by helping families get educated first and providing them solutions second. And let me tell you, if you don't know these 2 young individuals, I know when it comes to youth and finance, you're like, oh, how don't they have experience? These 2 study it so much that they have 2 decades worth of experience based on their passion. Okay? They don't have 2 decades of experience in time, but you know what? You could have somebody that's doing a business for 20 years and they don't take the extra effort to learn. And I have not seen these guys not studying, not working, not learning something new every single day.
Appreciate that.
Thank you so much again, Mike. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, you just heard the blueprint. Now go be the architect to your legacy.